Yellow! This is an actor that I have learned to grow. No, not grow, because he does. No, this is an actor that I have learned, that I have grown to love. Work your brain, buddy. This actor is in one of the biggest shows to ever take over television. My mom absolutely loves this show. She is the reason that I have learned to know what is going on in this damn little world of Game of Thrones. And for the actor that I'm talking about, the one guy that I think was the coolest person that I have met, coolest personality, coolest sense of humor, I am talking about Mr. King legendary, Alfie Evan Allen. Alfie Allen was in Toronto for the Toronto International Film Festival. He was here for 2 movies, King. No other actor can relate. He was here for Jojo Rabbit and How to Be a Girl or How to Something About a Girl. I am at one of the hot spots here in darn tootin' damn Toronto where they were doing press photo shoots, interviews for the movie. I saw him going to the building. He did a couple selfies going in, but he promised to do more on the way out. I guess the man was in a rush, and I was like, okay, well, I wasn't one of the people going in, so he better make my selfie absolutely legendary. He starts to walk out. Like, he's coming down the stairs of this building, and I'm like, oh. I'm literally like, heart's beating super fast. My friends are all chilling. I'm like, okay, guys, you ain't it, because move aside, because from the looks of it, I'm the damn real stand here, because I'm the one freaking out, and everybody's like, George, he'll be nice. I'm like, I know he'll be nice, but I'm just like, King. He walks out. He says, okay, guys, get your phones out. Let's take selfies before I go. I look at him, I'm like, oh, babe, my phone has been ready since I came out of the womb. He comes over to me, and I am smiling ear to ear. I am so ready for this. I'm like, okay, Alfie Evan Allen King, like, legend, let's get this going. I need him. Like, imagine meeting Theon Greyjoy. Like, some people can't relate, but guess what? I can. So I come over to him, and he's so used to, like, just getting in the picture and, like, leaving. So he, like, goes, and I'm like, oh, 1 second, buddy. I look at him, and I'm like, Alfie, and he, like, looks at me, and I was like, you are my king. I was like, I love you, buddy. I was like, and I told him, I was like, I'm not the biggest Game of Thrones fan. I'm, like, aware of the show, and I told him, I was like, my mom is obsessed with it, so days where I could just literally sit on the couch and watch it with her, I was literally cheering you on. Every time he came on the screen, I was like, and he was like, thanks, mate. He's like, it's nice to hear that. He's like, your mom's a big fan. I was like, oh, absolutely, she's a big fan. Like, actually, she defeats being a big fan. She's like an obsessed fan. So I kind of like drop, I'm like trying to be fast as possible. Like, imagine literally cramming a 5-minute conversation within 30 seconds. So I look at him. I was like, I love you. And I was like, I fully stand, and I'm like, I'm a fan. But Lily Rose Beatrice Allen Cooper is the reason I am cheering you on. And no, well, I'm cheering him on for, like, him and his acting, and, like, I'm so excited for his movies, but I was like, your sister is my legend. He goes, haha, so you're not really here for me, are you? I was like, no, I'm here for you. But, like, I'm imagining your sister is here, too, because I was like, and I told him, I was like, I loved her song, F You. I was like, and I told them, I was like, I was 13 years old, literally singing the lyrics to the song in my room where my mother or my father couldn't hear me, because if they did, they'd be like, you are not leaving your room for the next damn 3 months. So he starts laughing, and I think he kind of liked the way that I was like acting, because I wasn't nervous, but I just kept laughing at the fact that I look idiotic. I'm literally like, I'm throwing all these stories at him. So then we take our selfie, and we take our cute selfie, and thank God the lighting was damn working on my side that day, because there's some days where it's not, and I'm like, oh, I didn't realize I looked like an ogre. So before he leaves, I kind of like, I wanted to slip in like a little bit of a joke. I was like crossing my fingers. I'm like, okay, like hopefully he has like a good sense of humor and he doesn't feel like weird and like kind of looks at me as like, this guy's like a total weirdo. So obviously any Game of Thrones fan knows that in the show, some part of his body was cut off. And for a male, that a very important body part. For him, that just happened. You know, some people may be thinking, oh, like maybe his fingers, maybe like his ear, you know, maybe like a little bit of his eyelash fell off. Let's just say his genitals went flying out the door. So I bring it up and I'm like joking around. And I'm like, oh my God, please don't be weirded out by this. And I look at him and I'm like, Alfie, and before he leaves, I was like, I just wanted to make sure, like, your wiener is... Yeah, I don't know why I asked this. Like, I know now I'm like thinking, because all my friends afterwards, like, George, you are on crack. And I was like, I think so too. I was like, your genitals are still in place, am I right? I'm like, you're good, right? Like, after Game of Thrones, I'm hopefully, like, it grew back, right? And he looks at me, and I'm like, okay, here it goes. He's about to say, you're a freak. He's about to say, what kind of a question is that? He's about to look at me and just ignore me. And I was like, okay, I'm about to get shut down, rolling in the dirt, going, bye-bye. He looks at me, he goes, mate, don't worry. It's all there. And I'm like, as he's smirking, he's kind of, like, smirking, but he's, like, trying to make it, like, serious. And I'm, like, looking at him, I'm like, Good to hear, legend. Anyways, that is my story on meeting Mr. King, Alfie, Evan, Allen, the legend. For anybody who's watching me, if anybody's ever darn tuned in and watched me, I'll talk to y'all in the next video. TTYLs.